recycling one aluminum can power a TV for up to 3 hours. And I think that if we could have exchanged all those cans and bottles that we used this weekend, for example, with friends and family for energy, that would have been enough to power the TV that we watch, don't you think? And this is a fact from recyclingfacts.org, and I know that we can save energy through recycling. If we save energy, and we save it by using the energy instead of producing new things, we can take the energy and put it into good things, like heat for our homes and power our industries instead, which is something that we should start thinking about. We need to live a more sustainable lifestyle and save on those resources that are out there, because it's going to have to last for people that come after us as well. So I want to talk about recycling. And there are landfills and garbage mountains all over the world and all over this country that is growing and growing and growing. It's growing by the hour, really fast. And just because we have become big consumers, we have also become big wasters. And according to Luis Nascimento, he wrote an article in Greener Management International this year. In May it was published. He says that the consumption of plastic bottles and similar materials have increased from 5 million tons in the 1950s to 100 million tons in 2009. And that's not even including paper, glass, and metals. It's only the plastic. Imagine what the number is for all of those. It's huge. So if the consumption is increasing, that must mean that our resources are decreasing with an equivalent pace, right? Because we're using all those resources. And again, we need to strive for that sustainability so that we can make those resources really last. And we can do that without compromising comfort and the actual need and want that we have for new things, for example, because the Institute of Scrap Recycling Industry Incorporated, they had an interesting fact on their website, which is that recycled scrap metals account for 40% of all the raw material that is used in the world, which is a pretty big percentage. I mean, and if we recycled even more than what we do today, we can increase that even more and make the resources last. So we can choose to impact our planet in good ways instead of bad ways through simple things as recycling. And it's easy to make a difference, right? Let's say that can actually save energy for a TV for 3 hours, right? Think about all those cans that you had on your birthday party, or bottles, or whatever it is, or some other party you had. You know, that's a lot of energy. It's a lot of stuff that can be used, and it's not hard to do it. Actually, the New York State has a notable distinction of producing more tons of garbage per person than any other state. And on top of that, Long Island is worse. In the state of New York, Long Island is the worst. It's kind of embarrassing, I think, for all of us to have that. I mean, it is embarrassing. At least I think so. I think that's embarrassing because I think this is important. And I got that from the Suffolk County government's website, too. And hopefully that can be motivation enough to actually start recycling, because it is not hard. I checked out the town of Smithtown, Riverhead, Brookhaven, and Southold. They all have recycling pickups that come maybe every second week or so, frequent together in their waste management programs. So what you have to do, the only thing you have to do is to place these things, metals, glass, plastic, and paper, place it in separate containers instead of throwing it in your regular trash. It's not that hard to choose to put it here instead of here. So it's easier for you, and then you just bring it out to the road and someone else will pick it up for you. It's really no excuses to not do it. The only thing that could be a problem is to make that change in a habit, which I admit, it is a little bit of, it can be tricky. It's hard to change your routines. But I think that all of us are in more or less the same situation, where within the next few years or so, we're probably going to move out of our parents' house and get our own place. That is the perfect time to start recycling. If you start a new home, then you'll start new routines and new schedules. It's easy to start it from the beginning, and then it will be easier to keep up with it. And think about this. Don't we all have things that our parents do that we also do just because they did it, and it's so ingrained into our daily routines, like brushing our teeth. If we can make recycling as important as brushing your teeth to our kids and people around us when they grow up, that's going to make a huge impact. If they can get that into their daily routines and all the kids in the next generation are going to do it, that's huge. It's going to make a big difference. So yeah, take the responsibility and share the resources that we have with your kids, your grandkids, and everybody else around us. So what are the benefits of all this? Well, it does make you feel good to do something good, right? We all think so. But it also saves us money. It can save us money through buying stuff in bulk. It's cheaper and it uses less packaging material. We can reuse plastic bags and containers, and we can save on that and having to buy less of those. Rechargeable batteries, and we can sell things that we don't want instead of just throwing it out. We can make money like that as well. And even bringing plastic bottles and glass cans or glass bottles and stuff back to the store and get a refund, it's not a big deal, but it is a little bit of money that's actually yours, and you can get that back at the same time as you're helping the environment. So it is pretty easy to do it, and there are plenty of ways you can do it. An interesting fact is also that it's another one that Luis Nascimento mentions in his article. He says that more recycling can generate more jobs, because if we recycle more, we're going to need more people picking that recycling up at the road, and we're going to need more people in recycling facilities taking care of it and working on perfecting this process of recycling. So it's going to generate more jobs, and that can boost our economy. And I think that we all know that that's something that we want, right? And that can benefit us all in a big way, because we're still young. If we can boost the economy now, that's going to help us down the road too. So it's with the earth as it is with all of our belongings. If we take care of something, it's going to last much longer. And it's the same thing with our planet. We're not going to live forever, obviously, but there's no need for being selfish. We can save on those resources and make them last, because it's not going to hurt us to recycle. It's probably more going to benefit us than anything else. So why not slow down the growth of all those landfills throughout the world and start recycling and save some money, boost the economy, and then we can help decreasing the 54% of all the solid waste that actually do go to the landfill. And if the whole reputation with Long Island being bad, if that motivates you, then why not help bring that reputation back up and make this a greater place and recycle?